Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm welcoming you back to another season of Star Charts. In this season, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be doing the Grand Tour. We're going to be going from system to system, and we will be deep diving into that system using the Arc Star map. So, welcome back, and let's take a look. What we're looking at now is the map in the star map. This map is a three-dimensional representation of the known galaxy around the United Empire of Earth. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to pick different systems and we are going to do a deep dive. And then each week I should do a new system and we will do another deep dive. In this episode, what we're going to do is a deep dive of the Stanton system. So here's Sol, the center of the universe, and we will move, that's where Earth is located. We will move over here to the Stanton system. The Stanton system is located slightly above and to, for no better term, we're going to call it the east side of the map. Okay, if this is north, south, east, and west central, and this is up, and if this is up and this is down, then Stanton is to the east and up. Okay, if that makes any sense to everybody. All right, now taking a look at its jump points. It has no small jump points. We'll turn those off because it has no small jump points. But it does have a medium-sized jump point that goes from Stanton to Pyro. It also has two large jump points, one going to Magnus and another going to Terra. So it has three jump points leading into the Stanton system. Now, population-wise, it is completely green, which means it has got a huge population. Now, what does that number mean? What does that green bar mean in numbers? Don't know yet. This game is still under development, and we will have to learn what does 3/4 of a green bar mean? What does 70% mean? What does 90% mean, or 25%? You know, this looks like it's 100%, so it is a high population system. Now, you got the economy. It's completely circled. So what that means is it has a very strong economy. There's a lot of buying and selling going on there. It might, if you're a merchant, it might be lucrative to go to this system because you could make a lot of money there. Or let me rephrase that. A lot of money is changing hands. So you might be able to buy what you're looking for. You also might be able to sell what you've got. And then the last number is threat. Threat is saying, like, how much piracy is going on in that system? Well, guess what? It's completely circled in red. So that means there's a lot of hostile activity going on. You notice that these systems don't have a whole lot of red bars. But you know what I think that is? I think that's because they haven't really built or fleshed out those systems yet in game. So they're still working. They're working from Stanton outwards. So yeah. Okay, now you can always view this map in 2 dimensions, which will just take you from a top-down view, but we want to view it in 3D. All right, so let's click on Stanton. No, let's not click on Stanton. What am I doing? Let's right-click on Stanton. Okay, if you right-click on Stanton, you will get the Stanton, what they call the disk. And what is this showing us? Well, I think it's showing us the threat level, the economy level, and the population level all in one view. Now, what is this orange bar on the outside? It might be just to help us count ticks, like a compass. So if it was only across here, we could kind of count the numbers. I think it's just to kind of, you know, I don't know, make it easier to see. Okay, so threat, economy, and population, right? And then we go to information. Stanton, the star system as a whole, has a 5 astronomical unit size, which means from the center to the last planet should be 5 astronomical units, which, the definition of 1 astronomical unit is the distance between Earth and the Sun. So if you look at, or Sol, so if you take whatever distance that is, which you can look that up, the distance from Earth to the Sun is 1 astronomical unit. And if you multiply that by 5, that's how big this whole system is. So that means it's a very, very small system. And then while the UEE still controls the rights of the system overall, the 4 planets themselves were sold by the government to 4 megacorporations, making them the only privately owned worlds in the empire. Though subject to the UEE's common laws and standard penal code, the UEE does not police the region. Instead, the private planetary security teams enforce the local law. Yeah, there's 4 companies that own these systems. And let's go ahead and get into the system. There we go. This is the Stanton solar system. Okay, I'm zooming out so we can kind of see everything in one glance. We have the Stanton to Magnus jump point located up here. We have the Stanton to Terra jump point here. And there is the Stanton to Pyro jump point right there. Okay, you can kind of see that there's one jump point like right in the middle of the solar system. You got to go out further to see these. Now, the 4 corporations are Artcourt, Crusader, Microtech, and Hurston. Hurston Dynamics, Artcourt, Crusader Industries, and Microtech. Those are the 4 companies that bought those systems, or planets in the system. You'll notice that there is a green bar here, and that is called the green band. Any worlds that fall within the green band of any star system is habitable. Stars generate so much heat, right, that in space, anything too close would be too hot, and so there's no green band there. Everything far enough away to be habitable, but not so far that it's it's out here, can be habited because the planet is giving it enough heat for life to live on. But if you get too far out, then you're in what's called the freeze zone, and the planets are usually things like Pluto. You know, they're balls of ice. Okay, let's zoom in to one of these planets. You got Microtech. Let's zoom into that. And that's the Microtech planet right there. And that's what it'll kind of look like. I understand that this is kind of the hollow viewer version of that world, but when you get closer to that world, let me rephrase that. When you get in game and you are flying in that system around that planet, it's going to actually look, you know, colored and beautiful, but it won't have the, of course, the hex, the D20 look around the outside of it. Okay, so we go to the information of that world. It is a planet, duh. It's habitable, yes. It's a super Earth, okay, and it's affiliated with UEE. There is a landing zone. It is called New Babbage, and if you look, as the planet orbits, you will see that the landing zone is right there, and we'll zoom into that in just a minute. A terraforming error left the planet with an unnaturally dense cloud cover and a colder than average climate, making it an ideal location for the owner Microtech to house its heat-sensitive computing and manufacturing centers. New Babbage right there. Enclosed to protect the inhabitants against the freezing elements, New Babbage is a major social and economic trading hub on Microtech. Although it features Microtech's flagship store, the landing zone is a haven for smaller tech companies. So if you're wanting to start a tech company, you might do that there. Microtech has 3 moons, as you can see. We've got, can I say that word? Euterpe? I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Named after the ancient Greek muse of music, to supposedly remind those gazing upon the moon from Microtech to be guided by the natural rhythm of the universe in their designs. The second moon, Clio, named after the ancient Greek muse of history to supposedly remind those gazing upon the moon from Microtech to remember that their work stands on those who came before them. Now, what about the last moon? I wonder if it's a Calliope. Or Calliope, named after the ancient Greek muse who inspired eloquence to supposedly remind those gazing upon the moon from Microtech to strive for pure expression of thought. Okay, so that kind of tells you a little bit about the Microtech's management. Okay, we're going to move on to the next world, which is Artcourt. Some of you had the opportunity to walk around on Artcourt. Artcourt is one of Artcourt's cities. Buildings over a majority of the planet's surface, with residential areas relegated to the poles, while Artcourt's factories, business headquarters, financial and commercial districts are located in between. There is a landing zone, Area 18, and that you can actually walk around in as we speak. Area 18 is one of the main commercial ports for interplanetary traffic for the surrounding region of Artcourt. Travelers can find a variety of goods from trusted names as well as local providers if they're not overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of this landing zone. What did I do? I left Artcourt. Didn't mean to do that. It has a couple of moons, as you can see. Walla. The low density of Walla is particularly susceptible to tidal forces, which result in the moon being noticeably prolate. Lyria. The icy moon features active cryogeysers and cryovolcanoes. And that was Artcourt. Moving inward, we go to Crusader. As of right now, we got a lot of activity going on around Crusader because that is where the Star Citizen Alpha 2.0 is going to take place. It's going to take place around this gas giant. Crusader, gas giant. A low-mass gas giant that features a breathable atmosphere at high altitudes. This was an ideal situation for ship manufacturers Crusader, who now occupies the planet's floating platforms to build massive ships like the Starliner. There is a landing zone on Crusader. Oh, right there. Orison. Landing zone. The city in the clouds. Hurston offers a breathtaking view of Crusader's commercial shipbuilding platforms. Okay, let's take a look at its moons now. I see 3 moons. Daymar, named after the middle brother of the 3 siblings featured in the 24th century children's morality tale, A Gift for Baba. This is the largest of Crusader's moons. Daymar's slightly eccentric orbit is said to represent the ease at getting lost in the story. Just as a side note, my wife is a teacher at the Daymar Institute. Just thought I'd put that out there. All right, and then we've got Selin. Selin, another moon, named after the youngest of the 3 siblings, featured in the 24 Sisters Gift for Baba. This moon features over 100 currently dormant volcanoes that are said to represent Selin's simmering anger. Last moon should be Yella, which is, of course, the 3rd sibling of the 24th century children's morality tale, A Gift for Baba. This moon was a water ice crust said to represent Yella's cool and calculating mannerisms. Whoa, what am I doing? I'm all over the place. Okay, that was the 3 moons. Now, if you notice, you see that there is, first of all, there is an asteroid belt right here, which is Erin's halo, asteroid belt. You'll also notice that there are these green hexes spinning in space. Those are space stations. If you were to zoom in close to any one of these, how come I'm not able to zoom in close to any one of these? Okay, here we go. I'm going to pick Port Olisar because that is where you as a player will spawn in when you play the Persistent Universe in testing. Port Olisar. Located in the trade lanes above Crusader, Port Olisar offers a breathtaking view of the planet below. Owned and operated by Crusader Industries, Port Olisar acts as a gateway to the company's vast planetary holdings and orbital shipyards. Then you got Post Karen, or Security Post Carre, I'm sorry. It's not Karen. A brand new outpost built to house an extended Crusader security presence in the sector. It is expected to be open and operating soon. Okay, my understanding is this is the control hub for the sensor arrays that are located around the system. There are at least 8 sensor arrays that the pirates are trying to prevent from being operational. So they engage these and destroy these, or I should say damage them or hack them, and it is a frequent requirement for subcontractors like yourself to fly out to these sensor arrays and repair them. In the process, you might or might not encounter pirates that are still lingering about or trying to prevent them from being repaired. This is the central hub where all this information is kept and gathered. So if you are able to get to the central core in this base, you would be given information about other places in the system that nobody else will have because of the access to the security arrays, if that makes sense. Okay, now having said that, what this is in game, what this is being used as is a first-person shooter testing site. So people that go here will automatically be placed into separate teams, and you will have the opportunity to shoot them in the face with your laser rifles or auto rifles or whatever you've got to help Roberts Space Industries and CIG playtest the first-person shooter. Wait. Yeah, that's right. The next one is the Kaaba hub. It has, if you can look at it, you see rubble and debris. Formerly, Kaaba prime shipping hub for the system, Gongo suffered a catastrophic accident that resulted in an explosion and the deaths of all the employees aboard the station. Kaaba has since moved their operations to Orison. Okay, what does that mean in the alpha? It means we're going to get to explore it. We can go over there. Maybe we can find some reason why there was an explosion. Maybe we have to go there and collect some data. All that is pending. Next one over is the Cry-Astro service. Okay, now if you look at it, it is the original space station that they worked on. The station is a franchise of Cry-Astro and provides facilities to restock and refuel a wide variety of ships. So basically, you can land there, get more fuel, you can land there, get more life support, or whatever. Whoa, 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 what am I doing? Okay, and there's a couple more. Here we go. The ICC Scan Hub Stanton. Okay, the ICC Scan Hub. Part of the Imperial Cartography Center, this research station is categorized as a deep space scanning and astrographical station. One of the many turnkey facilities the UEE places in systems to casually sweep for jump points. So basically, it's a facility there that is doing astrological research and mapping the system and things like that. And then finally, we see the comm array. This communication stations are positioned, okay, these communication stations, meaning there's multiples of these, are positioned around the area to help provide comm coverage. So basically, usually what these would be used for would be the communications in system to like relays to pick up signals that you are transmitting and retransmit them so that your signal can reach further faster. But not only that, incoming communication drones that jump through the jump points would transmit their information to these arrays so that these arrays can send the messages to the parties involved. And also, my understanding is the drones that normally are sent out to jump through the jump points would also automatically dock with this, reattach and refuel and rearm, and basically kind of like a relay system, like an X-boat system for Traveler, except it would be unmanned drones instead of manned drones. So if you needed to send a message outside system, it would get to this array. The array would recognize that it needs to go to the next system, or 2 or 3 systems from here, and it would dispatch a drone to go through the jump point. That's my understanding. Now, it might be different, and again, it's still under alpha. Let's talk about the Stanton star. I want to jump to that before I go to Hurston. Yes, you can examine stars. This is a main sequence dwarf G type star. The star over Sol is a G star, but it's not a dwarf. So this is maybe just a little bit smaller than ours, but it is a G star. And if those of you that are familiar with color coding of stars, it starts with B, and then it goes M, and on the way up, and an acronym to remember it is Be My Fine Girl Kiss Me. Or B-A, there we go, B-A Fine Girl Kiss Me. There we go. I know, right? Things you remember from college. Okay, what else? Let's get out of that. And then what did I not look at? I did not look at Hurston. Hurston is the next system in. Go to Hurston. Now, just looking at this planet, you can see that Hurston is it's very machine looking, right? Well, that's because I do believe this entire planet is covered by one large city. Yeah, right. A wealth of ore and other resources are mined on Hurston Dynamics to manufacture the company's line of munitions and weapons. Heavy industry has resulted in severe population across the planet. There is a single landing zone, as you can see, coming around. It is called Lorville. One of the many company towns Hurston has established for its employees. Lorville is the only import landing zone on the planet. While the city overlooks some of the larger strip mining operations that are currently underway, it exists in the shadow of Central, the corporate headquarters for Hurston Dynamics. Aberdeen. This moon was named after scientist Aberdeen Hurston, who was credited with designing the company's first antimatter warhead. Okay, the first antimatter warhead. That means there's been multiple designs. Magawa, or Magda. Okay, this moon was named after Hurston Dynamics CEO Magda Stanton, who made the decision to purchase Stanton 1 from the UEE. Magna is the mother of current CEO Colonel Gavin E. Stanton. Ariel. This moon was named after the third CEO of Hurston Dynamics, Ariel Hurston, who is known for creating the controversial life-labor style employee contract. This moon was named, Ita. This moon was named after Ida Hurston, who died during the Tavaran War, as a reminder of why the products Hurston Dynamics makes are so important. And that was the Stanton system. Thanks for coming out and checking out this episode, or this portion of our grand tour of the Empire. And come back for future episodes where we will feature other systems and other planets, and you can learn about those systems. And again, this was Mr. Everything, and thanks for watching.